Hey there, how you doing? Okay, so let's get started learning In My Life by the Beatles for solo fingerstyle guitar. Just to give you a little background, my arrangement is in the key of A, and you're going to be in standard tuning. Okay, no capo, just straight up guitar. And I've played this arrangement often live with a thumb pick, but here in the studio, I'm going to do it with just the bare thumb of my thumb finger, because I seem to be getting a nicer sound here right now with just the flesh of my thumb. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, everybody, so let's start with the intro of In My Life. I'm going to start with the second finger, 4th fret, 3rd string, slide it up to the 6th fret, then 1st finger, 5th fret. Then watch, hammer that to the 7th fret, open E, then 4th fret. So that's the basic little melody. It happens twice in the intro. 2, 3, 4. Notice how I'm holding that 3rd finger and you hear these two notes ringing together. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add bass notes, just open A strings and open E strings. Watch how this sounds. Okay, again. So the notes ringing over are what makes this sound beautiful, in my opinion. What you want to watch out for is when you go to the E string, that the A string doesn't continue to ring. Let me describe that for you. What's happening, you're going boom, boom, and then both strings can be ringing, resulting in a very cloudy bass. So there's two solutions depending on what you prefer. One is to just land with your thumb, and then you end up stopping the A string. See that? My thumb is now there. Another solution is with your second finger on the left hand to just ever so slightly touch it, but not fret the note. So watch. Now watch. I don't know if you could hear that, but it was like, see how I stopped that note? I do that if I play the arrangement with a thumb pick, because a lot of times I'll play this with a thumb pick live. So just to recap, here's the intro. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. Okay, so now let's move on to the verse. Okay, everybody, so allow me to give you an overview of what happens in the first two phrases of the verse, or how I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to show you the melody line, then I'm going to show you the backup vocal line that actually is higher than the melody, and then lastly we're going to add the bass. So think of this as a 3-layer cake. Okay, so here's the melody to the verse. We're at the 2nd fret, 1st finger, D string. Okay. Let's just do that much again. Okay. The important thing is you want to hold these two notes and let them ring over each other. See that? And then And then now watch this. We're going to slide up to the 11th fret. Now you might wonder why I'm sliding all the way up to the 11th fret when I could have gone, and because this sounds more like the way it was sung. You hear the voice sliding up to the note rather than like a yodeler who would go from a chest voice to falsetto. Let's play it together. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now we're going to add that little backup melody, which is actually higher than the melody. And this is, again, some of the magic of making it sound just like the way the Beatles sang it. I'm going to change the rhythms a little bit so that notes don't hit at the same time. That way they sound clearer to our ear when played on a solo guitar. So watch. Now watch. I'm playing with my third finger, the 2nd fret on the E string. That's a second voice. That's the main melody. Now watch this. That crept down to there, and then together. So this one hits separate. And when I'm playing the arrangement, I actually, on the right hand, I go index finger, index, with the ring finger, because I need the thumb for bass notes. Okay, now all we're going to do is add some bass notes to that, and you're going to have the first part of the verse. Open A on that hammer. Now watch. I'm going to the 6th string, 4th fret, G sharp, when I'm holding these two. Okay, now we're going to, bass is going to go down to F sharp when we do, except I like to fill in a little middle note there on the 2nd fret. So I'm plucking the E string, the G string, and the low E string all together. See that? If that's too tricky for you, you could probably work out a fingering where you use your 4th finger, your 3rd, and your 2nd. Especially on a nylon string guitar, this thumb over the neck business is not very comfortable. Now watch what I do. As this is ringing, with the thumb over here, I pluck the open E and pull that A off to an open G string. So, but that's kind of a strange move that you're probably going to have to practice. That pulls off, that plays the bass note. And I make sure that G is not too loud. Then, with an open A, right? Now, for this thing with the counter melody, I'm doing D over here on the D string. And then back to the, so it's D, 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 D. And then happens again. Let me play this whole thing for you slowly. 1, 2, 3. It happens twice. Okay, now those are the first 2 lines of the verse. Let's go on to the next couple of lines in the verse because it's a little bit of a different musical idea. So now we're at the section, it's the second part of the verse, and let me show you how I finger this. I start with a harmonic at the 12th fret on the 5th string is the melody note. And I'm going to show you the melody first. Okay, let me do that much again. Okay, then slide. So let's put the arrangement of bass notes and chord notes around that melody. First thing I do, I grab that F sharp down here at the 2nd fret with my thumb. Again, you could do it with a finger if you prefer. This is kind of tricky now. I try to hold that F sharp as long as I can, but it's pretty hard with these fingers up. Whoops. Now watch this. That's with the open D string, but then something I've been doing lately is actually switching to this. I know it looks hard. Switching to the D there and using the first finger here. Well, when you see it all in motion, you'll understand. Let's not worry about that crazy fingering yet. And then it's like a G chord with no middle note. I just pluck all the open strings. And then again, open A. Let me show you why I do this thing where I fret the D instead of playing it. It just puts me in a better position, and it gives me a little bit more bass on the string to play it on the A string. This is optional. You don't have to do it this way. I like the feel of that bass note better. And then I'm in that position to play the chord like that. Again, I'm just fingering the G there and the D there with the open strings. Let me do that for you one more time. Now, the second time we do it, it's going to sound a little bit different. Here, we're going to do like a B7 chord. I'm doing my second finger, first finger, and try not to crack into the G string because the note really won't sound too good. Sometimes I do, but if I hit the G string even a little, I'll just put my third finger there to mute it as soon as it's free. That's the idea that you want. Now here's something a little bit unconventional. for the last section, I play up at the, well, I'm lined up in third position. I'm playing D. I go, okay, because I didn't do it with an open D string because I couldn't get the note and the harmony in there. Right? Then slide down. So let me play the second phrase now for you straight through. Okay, so I hit another D. Then there's one phrase from the intro, then we go back and we play another verse. Okay, so since I've already showed you the verse material, I'm not going to show it to you again. I'll give you, though, a rundown of the structure. It's going to go back to all that business. So let's go on now to the little harpsichord solo that I sort of play, the harpsichord sounding solo from the record, because it's got some tricky left hand things. Okay, so at this point we've played the intro. I've showed you the two different sections of the verse. You go back and you play, you go back and you play a second verse, and you're going to end with and then comes this little Okay, now that is pretty tricky, and what I want to tell you is, first, practice it, obviously, but when you perform it, you just keep the rhythm. Even if you blow a note, keep the rhythm. Don't get hung up on it being perfect, because the little sort of tinkly rhythm of it and the rhythm being reliable is more important, even if you play a couple dud notes. Now, you'll notice that I use my first and third finger a lot, almost like a rock guitar player, because I got the right sounds out of the hammer-ons and pull-offs rather than playing like a classical or jazz idea. Okay, so let me show you the first part. Open A. How do I play this? Okay, that's it. Let's just get that much. No. See what I'm doing? And I'm using primarily my first and second finger over here. Okay, now watch what I have to do. So that happens really fast. Let me show you what that is. 5th fret down to the 3rd fret, back to the 5th fret, then 4th fret, 1st fret, 2nd fret. So I'm coming down in E arpeggio. But now look where I place the bass notes. Okay. Then you're going to have to practice this. I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm showing you how I do it. And I kind of fudge the ending because it's very hard to play at the tempo it should be played. And it'll really help you if you have an idea of the chords that should be underneath. Like the first thing, so it fits on an A chord, then on an E chord. Okay, now watch. I play a little F sharp bass note, and I first finger. Okay. Okay, now the next thing that happens is really weird. You won't understand the rhythm till I play it all in time, but because it's kind of it's outlining an A7 chord. 1, 2, I'll play it again. I'm hammering the second finger, third finger, open, third finger. So listen to the phrasing, because the A bass note comes after you do this. Hear that? 2, 3, 4. Now, here comes a nice little quasi-Bach sounding Baroque thing. We're in second position. You're going to put your first finger here and your fourth finger on the B string, 5th fret, and it's going to be, you're going to either alternate your thumb in your middle or your thumb in your first, depending on what's comfortable for your technique. So watch. And then on the G string. My hands got ahead of my mouth because it's programmed into my hands. Now, what I suggest is to stay with the rhythm. Focus on your thumb, so it's going like 1 and 2. See, if I just focus on that and get that in the pocket, then watch. Again. Okay, then watch what's going to come here. This might seem a little bit awkward. Well, it is a little bit awkward, but here we go. That's the 6th fret down to the 5th, and then 4th finger. That comes right after. I actually do it 3rd finger, then 1st finger, which might seem like a really big stretch, but we're not taking account the speed in which I have to go in this direction yet. Okay, then similar. Open A, same. Then I'm going again, 3rd down to the 1st, then down to the 1st on the 2nd fret. Okay, now if that, you're probably totally confused, which is normal, because this is a very awkward little section. I'm just going to do it real slow for you, because I practiced it slow several times. Here we go. Ready? And. Okay, and we're going to go do it again. It's going to end a little different. Now watch what I do. I go. That's the first part. 4, slide up, then, and then, oops. It actually, the original actually goes, okay. And the reason it's so fast on the Beatles recording is they actually recorded it at halftime and sped it up. So it's like Alvin and the Chipmunks. It's not really played at that tempo. But I just try to put a button on the end of the phrase. You might have to mess with a couple different right-hand fingerings. I do some weird stuff. I'm still not settled on it, but I'm putting. Okay, one more time. I'll play this solo phrase the second time through. Okay. After that, we're going to come to, well, you know what? I'm going to play this solo phrase a second time through for you. Okay, here we go. Alrighty, so that's the harpsichord solo. Let's move on to the next part. Okay, so now that we've done the harpsichord solo, here's what happens in the song. There's the last versed phrases, which you know. We've covered this. Now, here's the ending. There's one intro phrase. That's actually instrumental on the record. And now the last little vocal line, you're going to play E. Then on the 7th fret, you're going to bend. Except we're going to add a low D, a D 4th string. Okay, then D string, 3rd fret. That time I only go up to the 6th fret. I go to switch strings, and then okay, so you know what that is, and then this is just a. Try to make sure that that high A rings out louder. Okay, one more time. I'm going to demo it real slowly from the weirdo D minor chord here. Rubato. A little bit for some vibrato. All right, everybody, so there you have it. That's how to do the arrangement of In My Life, and I've showed you how to play the different sections. I suggest listen to the performance one more time to just double check the structure of the song. It's going to be intro, 2 verses, harpsichord solo, half a verse, and then the ending. Of course, it's pretty easy to me because I've practiced it about 10,000 times. And after you practice it 10,000 times, it'll be easy to you as well. I hope that you enjoy this, and I hope that you touch people's hearts by playing this arrangement. I'm sure your listeners will love it. And thanks a lot for watching. God bless.